All righty. Bear with me, guys. We're doing all of the admin things. All right. Well, hello and welcome to another Thursday night, Greenville Gab. I'm Aubree. Welcome to the show. Like the last week has been so fast. Like I've been telling people how are you doing, Aubree? I'm like, I'm hanging on for dear life. And that's a good thing in my world because that means I'm busy, but not so busy that I can't talk to you because this is really important. I actually just got off the phone with one of our other viewers who has watched the channel, so on and so forth. They're relocating from another state and yeah, they found a house that they really like. So I'm going to go see it for them tomorrow. And then I'm going to maybe see them this weekend. We'll see. So it's happening. It's not just you. It is something that I help you with or somebody from my team helps you. Right now, that key person is Christy, and she's pretty awesome. Anyways, we are doing our thing here on the Greenville Gab. And do me a favor, if you are brand new here to the channel, or if you're joining us here tonight, do me a favor, go into the comments and let us know, where are you watching from? Because we know that there is a community that watches these videos and our live streams from across the country, if not across the world. And there's such a cool group. You guys are a cool group of people. I thoroughly enjoy you. And I think this is something fun that we can get together on a Thursday night. And tonight I am drinking a chai tea, not a glass of wine, because, some days you just need a good cup of tea instead of a glass of wine. Today was a wonderful day, though. This week has been a really great week. And here in the upstate, it's the weather is getting warm and the pollen clouds are everywhere. And it's just a good time of year. I was actually telling my husband yesterday, maybe it was a text message this morning, but I was like, Rob, we need to move up the date for opening the pool because it's like 85, 87 degrees in the afternoon, and it's too warm for me not to be able to at least go sit on the edge of the pool with my legs in the water. Maybe not completely jumping in yet because it's still cold, but that's the weather here in South Carolina. I know I saw a picture from one of my other people that was here just this past week. And oh my word, they had snow still. They were from up north. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So if you still have snow, I'm really sorry. So let's see here. We've got John. Hey, hello. Hi, how's it going? John and Henry from New Jersey. Susan from Washington. Paul, you're from, is that Western New York? I got that right, correct? Chad from Rochester. We've got a couple people from the New York area. Chad and Paul, you both are in the do you guys know each other? Then we have the Rouleaus. Now, Mark, you are the reason we have something in the works on this. So just hang tight. It's going to be a great video. Let's see here. Hey, my friend, how's it going? Let's see here. Then we've got Jem. Hey, how's it going? From Vancouver, Washington. Do I have that right? WA, Washington? I could have that completely wrong, completely in the comments. Correct me in the comments because I'm terrible about the shorthand for things. Visiting Greenville for the first time in June. Looking forward to seeing all the great things. Yes, Greenville is pretty awesome. Completely biased though. Let's see here. And then let's see here, John. Man, you wait until, so we were going to wait until late May to open up our pool. And I think me and my husband have decided differently. So if we waited until June, that would be entirely too long. The kids get out of school. I want the pool open. Vanessa from Puerto Rico. Hello. All right, Jem, thank you for correcting me. I'm right. Thank you. Oh, okay. WA is obviously for Wisconsin. Michael, you've got to come on. Come on. See this? See what I deal with, guys, on a regular basis? Oh, geez. Hello, my friend from Florida. We've had some interesting Florida stuff. I might get to it tonight. I don't know. Michael is also a relocation from Florida, and he shared some information tonight. I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. Good to know. So we will talk about that if we get to it. We've got a couple different things to talk through. I want to talk about the real estate market, then talk about just some different things that are coming soon, things that are happening here in Greenville, and things that, I don't know, I've came across some really nifty websites that if you're whatever, I like seeing the history of an area and what is happening here locally. So how did we get here and where are we going next? So we're going to talk through things like that. I also have a couple things that keep circulating. We're going to talk about, Greenville keeps talking about a conference center, which I think is really important. There's a lot of development happening downtown around the arena that is downtown Greenville. So we're going to chat about that. And then, of course, we talk about the real estate market because that's what I love. That's what I like talking about. I think it has a lot to deal with what is going on with the great migration through the country. We have so many people moving here to the upstate. So anyways, that is what we are going through. So again, if you're joining us, go ahead, go into the comments. Let me know where you're watching from, because this is a really fun community and we help each other. Now, here's the thing. Two different things you need to be aware of. One, see this really fun QR code over here in the corner. If you are local and you are looking to buy or sell a house, or even if you're not local and you're from out of state, out of country, and you're like, hey, Greenville, South Carolina is a really fun place and we're thinking about relocating there, would love for you to reach out. Go ahead, use your phone, scan the QR code if you're watching from a different device other than your phone, and fill out the form, because one, we would love to say hey, love to say hi. I've talked to a few people this week. And then at the same time too, I would love to send you a free relocation package. And it's just a little bit of information about Greenville, Spartanburg, the upstate, have a little bit of ALG swag, so team swag, and we send it your way. So it's free. I don't know why, but you wouldn't reach out for it, but we'd love to send it to you. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing that I want you to be aware of, and this is where commenting on the live tonight is always fun. We do this every week. If you have questions, you probably have a question that someone else has as well. So this is just a live Q&A, and I will pull up a map. I will pull up the multiple listing service and specifically run your search for you if you're looking for something specific here in the upstate, or if you just have a question. Like in a couple of weeks past, I've actually talked about taxes. I've talked about tariffs and how those are going to be affecting, or at least how I think they're going to be affecting. And then we just talk about real estate and Greenville and why it's so awesome. So anyways, let's get into it. I'm going to go over, let's check out the comments really fast here just to make sure we've got everybody. Drew, come on. Now, I've got to tell you, Drew is an awesome agent here in Greenville. I've done some deals with him, and I bought him a bottle of Blanton's because he came in clutch on a transaction that we had, and he's just a phenomenal realtor. So hats off to you, Drew. Would gladly do a deal with you again. Let's see here. Somebody, from Florida, moving to Spartanburg on the 5th. Welcome. Would love to help you with housing needs if there's anything I can do there. Let's see here. John, you're starting me off with some questions already. Let's go here. I'll come back to your question. All right. Jacob from Tampa. Yes. Have to decline a lot of lot less people moving there. Inventory is pre-COVID levels, and Zillow forecasts a negative 2% price decline. Dude, I have been hearing that. That is something that is definitely happening, and it's something that I know it's hard. It's just hard. That's it. So. All right, let's look here before we get into it. Oh, Drew, you're welcome. Very welcome for the bottle. It's hard to get a bottle of Bland's these days. Let's see here. We've got Cello from Minnesota. Hi, hello. Piedmont in the house. That's like close by here, y'all. Like maybe 30 minutes from me. All right. And okay, so oh, dude, John. Okay, so this is a wonderful question because this is what we're going to be talking about tonight. With Greenville expanding and improving, what do you think is the next up and coming area? So much to talk about here. And I think all of my different things that I'm talking about will have something to do with your question tonight. And we'll pull up maps and so on and talk about the real estate market, whatnot. But I do have some up and coming areas that I've actually done videos on them. So I'll give you some opinions there. Then let's see here. Of course, we're going to pull up the map and let's see here. It looks like we've got somebody interesting in the comments going on. Shirley, hello. Hi, friend. Okay. So let's go ahead and golly, all these lights are hot. Goodness. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about the real estate market. And for you guys that are just joining, yes, I'm drinking a chai tea. Definitely recommend. Love that. All right. So with the current real estate market, oh my word. So this week we have actually, I don't know, the last, 2 to 3 weeks, we have felt the uptick, meaning myself, Christy on the team, our admin partners, we are doing a lot. We're showing a lot of property. We're putting more property on the market, specifically here in the last, just the last week. I have felt a pretty decent uptick in the market as far as just more buyer traffic, more houses going on the market, more houses selling quickly, which is good. That's great for sellers here. But at the same time, I feel like there's a really good, hey, this house, we're seeing houses sitting on the market for 2 to 3 weeks at their list price and still selling for super close to their list price, like 98 to 99% of their list to sales price ratio. Now that's super fun realtor speak to just say, hey, we're selling really close to their list price. So as we do this, I'm going to take another drink of my chai tea. Cynthia, chai. Yeah, I make it myself. It's great. Anyways, so let's go over here. So as we start off most nights, this is the straight from the Greenville MLS. Now that is the multiple listing service. Now I've been doing more searches in the Spartanburg MLS and the Anderson MLS. We are a part of all three. So it doesn't matter where you are looking in the upstate, we pretty much have you covered here. But this is what I think is interesting. Look at this. Over last year, we are up 24.5% in units. That means that we have almost 25% of more listings this time, like right now, than we did last year the same time, We're up in volume. This also means that we have more people selling or buying homes, selling homes, so on. So this does mean that we are up, we are selling more. Then average price is still up, median price is about steady, okay? But and then the average days on market. This is where you can see that the spring summer market is hitting its apex, its highest point probably for the rest of the year. So we have lots of inventory hitting the market. We have lots of people that are coming in and going, ooh, let's buy a house. Then we're also seeing more and more people selling their home. So we have increased inventory, but average days on market is headed back down, which is really nice. This just means that the people that have been sitting on the market, so on and so forth, maybe right now is the time to sell. I get this question a lot, like, should we wait? Should we go on the market? What's happening in the market? Like, let's keep going here. And from this, I can tell you, like, I would say, let's go on the market. Like, it looks like everything's primed and ready to go. Volume is up, average price is up, and then we also have our days on market. So this is just something I watch, and I watch for you guys. Now look at this, year over year, we have up. So last year, this time, our average days on market was 55. Now we're at 61. So we are still up days on market over last year, meaning that if you see a house on the market, I just had this conversation again before hopping on here tonight. If you see something on the market that you like, the likelihood of it selling quicker right now is pretty high compared to just 2-3 weeks ago. And so this is something that we're watching every week. I want you to be really aware of what's happening and when is it time to pull the trigger? Like if I say, hey, I'm going to jump out tomorrow, we're going to go see this house. We need to make this decision now. It's based upon facts. It's based upon watching market knowledge like this. Just here in the last week, we have seen, the team's probably seen like 4 or 5 contracts come together. It's a little, that's slower than weeks past, but I am feeling the uptick, the surge. And there was a lot of uncertainty over the last 2 weeks too. So I see, Jem, I see your question over here. And I'm going to go ahead and address it. And then I'll come back and I'll answer some of these other questions here. But Jem, you have a great question. With tariffs being a bad word in the world today, would you say existing home sales would be better value over new construction? Yes. Yes, I actually would. And here's the reason. And we talked about this really fast. No, we didn't. We actually parked on this for a little bit. So let's park on it again, because repetition means that, we're learning something, and sometimes we have to hear it a time or 3. So the resale market, we don't have tariffs. This is personally my opinion. Okay. I'm not an economist. I'm not a lender, anything like that. I'm just giving you Aubree's opinion on tariffs. And you can take it, or maybe it's the same as you. I don't know, because I'm a real person and think through these things. So on resale, the way tariffs are going to affect resale is it's going to affect other things than the price of the home, because the home is already built. It's already there. What it's going to affect is what people can afford, because if prices go up on other items, on goods and services, because those goods are going up in price because of the tariffs, then it's going to be affecting our economy, which means people are going to be less certain in how things are priced, and they're going to want to bring the price down. Okay. We're in a catch-22. New construction, what I've been hearing is the price of lumber is going to be going up. That's the big word, the big thing that we're talking about in the new construction world, or at least what I'm hearing, what I'm reading about. And I really want you to know that, I'm anticipating new construction housing to stay the same price, and the incentives are going to go away. Meaning, so they're not going to come down in price. If anything, they might get a tad bit more expensive. and those incentives. So being able to go to a new construction community and getting $25,000 in flex cash or a 4.99% interest rate, you're not going to be able to get that because the builder is not going to be able to afford to put that money back into things, which means I think we're going to see prices overall adjust down just a little bit. My thought, we actually are having new construction. I'm going to say it, and my table is wood, so we're going to knock on it. Our team just had a new construction not appraised by $16,000. That doesn't happen very often. That hasn't happened since we were in the height of everything appreciating in COVID. I talked to another friend of mine today, and she has seen new construction not appraising several ways. So whenever you go into these new houses and you're like, oh, I want this thing and I want this shiny upgrade and this over here, we have to be aware that if you're in a standard price range of, like, we'll use this example of the $315,000 to $320,000 range, and you make it a $350,000 house with your upgrades, it's probably gonna struggle to appraise. And be ready. Like, I advise my clients on a pretty regular basis that, hey, if it underappraises and you've got $5,000 to throw at it, and this is your house, or even if you know you're going to be there longer than 2-3 years, $10,000, pay it, because the house will appreciate. That's pretty typical about what's happened in the upstate market. So I think that that's part of it. Now, by all means, it's not necessarily a full picture of everything, but that's just my quick thoughts on how the tariffs are going to affect housing prices and so on. It's more the economy and what people can afford based upon everything else and what everything else is priced at. So let's see here. Okay. Glenn, hey, you're working with Christy. That's awesome. My listings specifically, yes, they can be found on Zillow. And if they're within your search parameters, they are also being sent to you via an MLS drip from myself or Christy. Hey, Eric, how's it going? Ooh, this is a wonderful question. Is Reedville closer to Greenville or Spartanburg? Does Reedville have good neighbors? Just for you, I will pull up a map so that you can see exactly where it is, and we'll talk about it. Let me do this and do this and then do this. Okay. So this being the okay, Reedville is right here. See my cursor? So is it closer to Greenville or is it closer to Spartanburg? You're really almost halfway. Here's what I would say are the important things about Reedville, though. You're only about 10-15 minutes from everything shopping in Five Forks. You're only about 10 to 15 minutes from everything in Greer, the airport, getting towards your shopping and hospitals and the cute little downtown Greer Main Street, etc. Right over in here. And then you're only about 20 minutes from Spartanburg. So it's a really nice spot. Hope that helps. That's my quick answer about where Reedville is. And then, so awesome. I hope it goes well, Glenn. Let us know if you need help connecting with an agent in your area. Let's see here. Look at that. Hello. Do you live there now, or have you moved? Do you live somewhere else? And then let's see here. Mark, you've got great comments tonight. Not only that, but sellers will start to notice new construction growing up quite a bit. And so the sellers will think that if that's going up, then they should be able to put their house up for more. Oh my word, you just hit the nail on the head. That is something that definitely we we watch that. We have conversations around that. And my brokerage I'm part of a group of brokerages that we actually have somebody coming in next week, and I cannot wait to share the information with you. But we get quarterly updates on the market that are boiled down from the 3 MLSs here in the upstate that we all use on a regular basis. And it's going to have the most up-to-date market information. So we're going to talk all about that. And I will have updates for you. Next week's show is going to be fire. So it's going to be great. Anyways. All right. So we've rattled on about all of this stuff for half an hour. Let's go ahead and jump into just some of the stuff that I've got for us tonight. So first thing, came across a website today while I was just researching for like, what are we going to talk about? Is it the most up-to-date website? Not really. But at the same time, I think knowing, like, I've been getting questions recently. Why has Greenville or its surrounding areas grown up so much? Or why move to Greenville, South Carolina? Well, if you like researching, or if you're looking at an area, if you can look, so Greenville has grown up pretty substantially in the last decade, even more than that, like probably 10 to 15 years, honestly. And then if you go back even 20 years, you'll see like the Reedy River project where the bridge downtown over the falls was built and so on. So this was just a fun website, and it's called Downtown Reborn. And this website, I was going through it, and it's the plan. So I talk about this on a pretty regular basis, where the plan for Greenville was started back in the 70s. There were some really forward-thinking individuals that they knew what Greenville could become. And I love being able to see, like, okay, what's happened? Where is everything? And this map is actually, I think this is really cool. So we had, back in the day, the Bon Secours Arena used to be known as the Bilo Center. So this is the arena. We're going to talk a little bit more about the plans around the arena, but this is a cool picture of just downtown in general. We have the Greenville Commons area. This is like where the Hyatt is, and their parking deck back here. Then you have the Liberty buildings right here. Very, very beautiful buildings. Project One. I believe this is, is this Noma Square? Maybe. I think that's what it is. But you have this around here, the Poinsett Hotel, nice historical hotel that's been down here. The Peace Center, which is getting a whole upfit right now, and it's getting updated. River Place, West End Market, Floorfield. I mean, today it has grown so much. And being able to see, like, okay, this is where Greenville started, and this is what has drawn people here. So there's really been this strategy around growing Greenville. And if anything, you can kind of see from this map right here, this is where the Bon Secours Arena is over here, but it's to bring people in towards Main Street. And what's happening and what's kind of fun is this has actually grown down toward past the Reedy River, and it's now like up over in here. So this plan, by no means, this is actually what this is the bridge that used to be over the Reedy Falls. And I love looking at this and seeing where we've come from, what's happened, where everything is growing. And this website tops out at like 2013. Okay. We've definitely passed this, but we have some updated pictures. So the Bon Secours Arena, we're going to hop over here just in a second. But if you're interested in the history, or why have so many people come to Greenville, here you go. There's my answer. I thought this was a really great resource. Same thing, being able to see, it was all the way at the bottom. See, I was reading it. Let's go master planning. I mean, Greenville has thought through this. Now, whenever they've looked into growing these areas, like, we are by no means done. There is huge investments going on in Greenville. I mean, we've talked about, this is actually a good map here for the $1 billion project that's happening. See if I can see it on this map. So here's Reedy Falls. Yep, right up here. So all of this right over here is the $1 billion project. And if you guys have followed our live streams, we will probably include this in a video that you can watch on the channel in the next year or two. But they're building out this entire business, like a small district, just outside of Falls Park. And I think it's something to really watch. I mean, Greenville's just one of those spots that we end up on the top 10 list so often. And knowing, like, okay, I get this question fairly often as well. We are, like, people are, why are so many people moving to Greenville? Or what's the next up and coming area around Greenville? And I'll pull a map up here and tell you my quick opinions about that, and just some insider thoughts and comments about it. But that's really, those are the questions. Like, I like to know, well, what happened back then to get us to where we are now in 2025? And being able to say, like, okay, this is something that it makes sense now. We are where we are at. Buildings, they fall into disrepair, or they need updated to the times. Technology is moving so fast nowadays that it doesn't surprise me that areas have to grow, and we have such an influx of people. Like, when I hear about you guys that are moving from, I will say this, I hear this a lot from my people that are moving from up north, that they're tired of the snow, or they don't necessarily like the politics, or they want lower taxes or something like that. Greenville has been master planned around being able to have people relocate here. Now, we have a lot of people as well that are relocating from Florida. Now, Florida, a decade, 2 decades ago, from what I have been told and researched, certain areas were not as developed. And over the course of the 20 years, they've been very much developed. So anyways, my quick thought on that is, I don't think that's going to happen here. I mean, tell me I'm wrong in a decade, but I know that our small city governments and surrounding towns are trying to be very cognizant of what they're annexing and what they're growing and how they are growing. All right. Soapbox completed. Let's keep going. We have a couple quick events coming up here in the next couple of weeks, couple of months. One of those big events that you definitely need to mark your calendar for if you are planning a trip in September is Euphoria. Now, Euphoria 2025 is September 18th through the 21st, right here. And there are tons of different events around, and they block off Main Street, from the top of Main Street all the way down. And I mean, it's been 20 years worth of this event, and you have chefs that come out, beverage professionals, musicians, different talent. So like, you've got people on stilts, and musicians and dancers, and a couple, I think, like the theatrical, I'm trying to say, we have the arts are right down there around the Peace Center. So a lot of the theater people come out. So this is something that I would recommend if you are planning a trip in September, I really want you to make sure that you have some really good things to show, things to get here. So tickets go on sale next week, and just around the food and everything. Euphoria is one of those. So there's a couple big events. There's Artisphere, then there's Fall for Greenville, and there's Euphoria. Now, all of those events, those 3 events, I would say are the biggest ones. And Michael, if I'm forgetting one, put it in the comments. But or you guys, if you've come for events, like let me know if I'm forgetting any of the other big events downtown. But this is something that, like, take a look at it. So Euphoria has a lot of different chefs and food that maybe you wouldn't get a chance to go out and try if you didn't go to this one event. And it is a ticketed event. It's not crazy expensive, but you get to see, Le Petit Croissant or Comal Korean, white wine and butter. Go talk to my friend Mike, Chef Mike. They're amazing. Rise Bakery is so good. They sell out almost all the time. And so you've got to get there when they open in order to get the bread, the morning buns, so on and so forth. Cook Station. There's a lot here. So Greenville by far just has really nice, we're a city without being a massive city. And it's not teeny tiny either. There's actually stuff to do here. All right, so let's go over comments again. Let's see what we've got going on here. Does Reedville have half to 1 acre lots available for building? Man, that's a great question. I think from what I have helped people buy houses out in the Reedville area that are on half an acre without a problem. Let's just look for residential lots for right now. And let's go ahead and look for that half acre. So a little bit less than half acre to just over an acre, and see what we've got out here right there. Ta-da! So the Reedville area, there's one. Looks rather flat. That's 543 Cary Drive. For you, John? I would look into something like that. That's not far from the Reedville Town Center. Let's go in a little bit further here. Looks like we've got a couple right here as well that are still wooded, though. Yeah, 50, 55. These are long and skinny. 167. So Rockingham Road looks like there's 3 lots right next to each other, and that's in the Reedville area as well. Love a good map time. So you can find land out there. Who knew? I think that's a great little area. Let's see here. Here we go. Love your name, though. Adventurers of the Rested Travelers. It's funny seeing this talked about from a historical perspective. We lived through much of that, moved away in 2009. I was in college here in the upstate that year. The transformation of downtown Greenville has been amazing. Totally agree with you. It's been very different from when I grew up, college years and so on to now. Glenn, I agree with you. Northern taxes suck. Yep. Tampa Bay exploded. Heard of that too. Then let's see here. When is Fall for Greenville? Fall for Greenville 2025 is November 8th to that's 2024. Hold up, please. Let's look. I will find it. Let's look for it on the website. It should be on there. Yep. So Fall for Greenville is October 10th, 11th, and 12th. Here you go. this is another one of those really fun events that I would highly recommend going to. It's very similar to Euphoria, but a little bit later on in the year. Similar, you've got the food vendors, beverage vendors, lots of the arts out, and it's fun. It's a good time. They shut down Main Street. All right, let's see here. Okay. So you still in Feltham. Future, maybe in 2 years, move somewhere in the area to work in Greenville. I love that. Let's see here what we got, John. Taxes in New Jersey are insane. $7,000 a year. Taxes on a townhouse. Oh, goodness. With a $280 monthly HOA that only gets you grass cutting and snow removal. That is not a thing here in Greenville. We don't do snow removal. I think HOAs I've seen for monthly are like $130 to $160, kind of depending. And our taxes are not $7,000. Now, and I cover this a couple of times too, but if you are looking at a primary residence versus buying a second home tax rate is a 6% tax rate here in South Carolina. A regular primary resident tax rate is a 4% tax rate. The 6% gets you like a tripled amount of taxes. It's still not near as much as your northern taxes are, but it is something that to be aware of. You know, if you're going to move here to be a primary resident. If you invest or if you are looking to buy rental properties or keep rental properties, I have rental properties, multiple. So I would say like just be aware of the tax rate on there. Make sure that you calculate that into your monthly payments and cash flow. Let's see here. Here we go. Yep. Taxes, lots of taxes. Everybody has high taxes. All right. So I told you that I wanted to talk about this. I ran across this today and we're going to talk about Greenville concert venue. This is the Bon Secours Arena. And this is where your so we have a couple different places the big artists will come into that, or the big events happen. And this was announced that the Bon Secours Arena is going to be getting an upgrade, and it needs to, because this is actually what you see when you come in directly through downtown, which since I've got a map up, we might as well go downtown and show it to you. So this here, right here is 385 in the middle of the screen, and it dumps in to downtown. Right here is where the Bon Secours, or actually right up here, is where the Bon Secours Arena is in this area. And so it's one of the first things that you see whenever you drive in from the interstate into downtown. So I'm actually pretty stoked that this is coming soon. I'll probably try to message this journalist just to kind of say, hey, like, keep me up to date on this, because I think this is really cool. But these plans were unveiled on April 17th, and it is going to it's going to be a really good upgrade to this area. So there's tons of great shows that come through. One of the last things though that I went to there was the Trans-Siberian Orchestra comes through every year. And then of course we have, so the hockey team is there. That's where the Swamp Rabbits play. And yes, it's a fun hockey game to go to, and it's not crazy expensive. So I love that. But this is something that Greenville, this is kind of like why I started tonight's show talking about. Greenville really has had a very long-term plan in place of where is it going and how does it support the local towns around Greenville City, and then also its county. So it has a huge economic impact on the upstate. It provides jobs. It's something to go and do. So I love some of these preliminary pictures and what they're going to be doing to upgrade, upfit the area, different artists that are going to be able to come into the area. And then also this perspective amphitheater, man, can't talk, that has also looked to be a really cool outdoor venue here in the area as well. So this is just something, again, like watching what's coming soon, watching the upgrades, who's going to be sponsoring these huge amphitheaters and so on. I do think it's cool to see that. Then same thing, let's kind of roll straight into so we've talked about music. Let's talk about the theater arts now. So 10 Broadway shows were just announced this week coming to the Peace Center for the 2025-2026 season. And here's what you need to know. So Peace Center has so many great shows that come through. And if you're local here, here's something that's kind of fun that I want you to be aware of, is that if you are like, well, we're moving there and we're retired, we don't need jobs. I get this question a lot. Or, okay, we're moving there and we got the jobs, but we're looking for things to volunteer or get involved in our community. So one of the cool things that you can do is you can actually go and volunteer at the Peace Center to either volunteer to hand out programs, help people to their seats, so on and so forth. I've got about 4 or 5 friends that do this every year, and they get to see the shows as part of their volunteering. So if this is something that you like, I would definitely tell you, like, there are volunteer opportunities everywhere. If you love the arts, if you want to be involved, this is just really something that I would look at. So here is the list for the 2025-2026 season of what's coming through. Really, I've seen The Sound of Music. The Outsiders, I've heard, is really good. The Great Gatsby, The Notebook, and Spam-A-Lot. I've heard all of these are really good. I actually made a comment in one of the most recent videos about Spam-A-Lot or about Monty Python, which is from a Spam-A-Lot. There's going to be a lot of spoofs there. But definitely things to note that are coming here soon. All right, let's see here. What else do we have? And if you have questions, put them over in the comments for me. And of course, like, if you are like, hey, cool, like, I don't have any questions, but I am coming to visit the area, or if you are wanting more information about something that maybe you don't want me to have cover on the show tonight, feel free. Go and scan this QR code over here on your screen, and it'll take you directly to our website where you can reach out to us, ask your questions there, schedule a time to meet with me or maybe another agent from our team. We also love to send out our relocation packets, which we send out for free. It's to you. It's just something that we love. So yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, let's go ahead and keep going. One, maybe 2 more things to talk about. And Michael just gave me a quick heads up. We were talking about HOAs a little bit, what your HOA covers, so on. I think, John, you brought that up. Yeah, the $280 a month. So this is something that we follow. I actually forget, like, there's monthly HOAs that cover the entire outside of the building, the roof, and then you cover everything that's on the inside. Then there's HOAs that cover lawn maintenance. Some HOAs don't cover lawn maintenance. They just provide for the amenities. But we go and we see townhomes. We talk through the HOA stuff. We talk about the amenities, the things that you get for that HOA. And I tell people too, because this is something, let's park here for a second. So The comment I get the most is, Aubree, we don't want to live in an HOA. Well, here's my rebuttal to that, because I think HOAs, it's a 50-50 shot if it's going to be a good HOA or not a good HOA. And I would recommend, if it's a $600 to $700 HOA a year, you're paying for lights, a community pool, sidewalks, maintenance, retention pond maintenance, and so on. Maybe even as low as $300 to $400 a year. That's cool. If you're in a neighborhood though, and it's only about $100 to $150 a year, all you're paying for is the light bill and for somebody to cut the grass around the neighborhood sign. There's really nobody that's going to be saying, you can't paint your front door that color. And it's also there to make sure that your neighbors don't trash their yards. And so I think that there's a little bit of a blessing and a curse with HOAs, but I would really do research on a neighborhood before you just say, nope, no HOA. Townhomes are a different beast though. Townhomes, you will always have an HOA because somebody has to cut the grass. And for the most part, they take care of the outside of your unit. So that's something to be aware of. Townhome HOAs haven't been atrocious. They typically are only about $100 to $200 a month, and they take care of everything on the outside and keep your property really nice. So those are my thoughts on HOAs. All right, let's come over here, and then I've got like one or two more things because I promised I've got something really fast about our Florida people that are relocating. Let's see here. Are there any CDDs in Greenville? We've seen those. What is this? I don't know what a CDD is. Tell me in the comments what that is. Okay, John. Yep, you're coming May. I'm so excited. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so last thing. This is something that I saw and I was like, man, we're talking about this again. So Greenville is dreaming of a downtown conference center again. And will it be any different this time? So this is one thing that Greenville does not have right now. And I mean, there is a little bit of this, but it's not like you can have a 10,000 person conference in Greenville. It's just, there's not enough lodging. There's not enough parking for that influx of people to come in. It's not like, golly, whenever I go to conferences for Keller Williams, it's a 10 to 20,000 person event every time. And there's only like 4 or 5 places in the entire country that can hold that many people. So I'm interested to see, like, what is Greenville thinking that they want to do? I've been really interested, and I don't know, maybe we can get a video with Mayor Knox White. You should go and tag him in the comments or something, because I would love to interview him and just kind of say, like, hey, like, you're a cool person. What do you think about the future of Greenville? He's seen it over the last 30 years. So I'm sure he has a really cool viewpoint on it. But really what we're looking at here is just over the last 10 years, we have heard this on a regular basis that the city of Greenville wants to create a conference center. Now, this currently, the current idea is that they would go into a partnership with Bob Jones University and the County Museum of Art, and they would put in, so this is kind of the master plan of creating this conference center here. And you're looking at the 2,500 square foot ballroom. You're looking at plans for a 61,000 square foot conference center and museum. If you are not from the area and you don't know what Bob Jones University is, it is a very conservative university that does have probably one of the largest and best collections of religious artwork in the United States, and is definitely in the top like 5 collections in the world. So if you didn't know that, definitely, that's also something a lot of people don't do, is they don't go to the museum and gallery on Bob Jones campus to go see that collection. it's cool if you're looking for something to do in the summertime and get out of the heat. And I definitely did not take advantage of it like I should have when I was a student at Bob Jones University. But anyways, they are talking through putting the conference center. And there's a lot of thoughts about this. Like, as this article notes, does Greenville really need a downtown conference center? I don't know. Like, does it? Does it not? As somebody who I go to a fair number of conferences every year that need large spaces. I don't know. Like, do we need a conference center or not? Let me know in the comments. Would love to know your thoughts on it. I really do think that Greenville could handle some smaller conferences. There's a lot of good hotels and places to stay, things to do, and it's walkable around Main Street, getting more and more walkable every year. All right. Another thing here that our illustrious Michael, video producer, notated, and I'm going to show this. So Michael is a transplant from Florida, and he got an email today. And it's from FL Treasure Hunt, so FloridaTreasureHunt.gov. And he sold his house a couple years ago. I don't know how many years ago. And he had like a couple $100 left over in escrow. And he was able to search his property here and go claim it. So I thought that was fun. Something cool to just note. We have so many people relocating from the Florida area that, I don't know, maybe you should go look at this, because we do. We have a lot of people that are looking to relocate or currently are in process, like houses on the market. And this is something, we talked about this earlier tonight too. The Florida market is something that we are watching closely, that if you purchased your house within the last 2 to 3 years, you're looking at a depreciation, meaning that your market is not just 1 or 2% up, which is pretty much considered a stable, steady market. You're in a depreciating market. Like, prices are going down. So if you bought your house for $340,000, likelihood is you need to go back on the market at 320, 315. Those are the numbers that I'm hearing. And I'm seeing my friends post about this and make comments about this in my realtor Facebook groups that I follow and so on. Like, are y'all okay down there in Florida? I like you guys a lot. And for you guys that are looking to move here, I've got some really good, talented realtors that I'm friends with that I work with there. So it's something that we talk about on a regular basis, and I try to stay aware of. So, okay, guys. Well, that's pretty much all I've got for you tonight. And as always, it's such a lovely time. But do me a favor. Come back next week. We're going to have so much good information about the market to talk about. And it's something that I'm looking forward to it, because I geek out about the numbers. I like to show you guys the numbers so you know what's going on, and you can take that information and hopefully do good other places. So anyways, y'all, I will see you next week. Same time, same place, Thursdays, 8 o'clock here at the Greenville Gab, and we will see you next time. So, all right, bye.